Now, this has been bugging me for a very long time. I will read stories that would explain concepts that literally do not exist and act like they do, right? What I'm trying to get at is that they would bring up things that uh it's almost like it's a matter of fact, right? That it really tests your suspension of belief. So like an example, right? They'll be like, okay, so in this series, this guy got mind control, right? Like he can control minds. And then they'd be like, all right, and then so to the and then they'll be like, all right, to defend against mind control, they'd be like, all right, so you know how like with like mind control, your brain gets kind of like, your brain gets stuck with the other person's mind control. But if you like super focus, your brain is able to like break out. And I'm like, wait, hold up. What you mean my brain is stuck? Like, first off, mind control is not a thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't like mind being putting mind control in your series is completely fine. But like when you start trying to have countermeasures to mind control already don't even exist, right? So when you try to have countermeasures to mind control, but you're trying to explain it in a scientific way, where is this science based off? Because like when you're trying to explain countermeasures to mind control, you need to first explain how mind control works so we can counter it. But mind control doesn't exist. So how do you do that? There'll be so many series I'll read that would fall under this category where they will start explaining like a big one is like hypnosis, right? Or like yeah, like hypnosis. So someone would be like, hypnotized to start like, following someone's commands by like words, and then they'll be like, oh, uh, again, I'll just use the same example. They lack focus. You have to like, uh, sing. Sing. Oh no, you have to clear their mind with ringing like a sacred bell, or yeah, like how you break out of a. Yeah, exactly. Because they explain it with chakra. You know what I'm saying? They're not using science. They're saying this is how our power system works. Our power system works like this, and our power system can let you do this move. And if you want to counter this move, you have to use the power system like this to counter it. It's perfect. But some of these other series, they will have a guy just do like hypnosis. So now someone being in hypnosis, but okay, but like this is, but to counter the hypnosis, I have the holy bell, and this holy bell makes this like vibrating sound, and then this sound can clear your head, and once your head is cleared, the hypnosis. I'm like, wait, hold up, clearing your head. I'm like, is that how it works? Yeah, exactly. Like they're not using like science and stuff to explain things that don't exist. They're using their own series rules and yeah, their own series rules. But again, a lot of these series they're trying to use science to explain a concept that do not exist. But then the thing is, it's more like secondhand, right? So it's not just like, yeah, again, it's mainly like countermeasures or like that. Yeah, like they'd be like, okay, so if you're like another example would be honestly using the mental stuff again. It's mostly around the like hypnosis, mind control, or stuff like that. Or they'll explain like if you wanna um yeah, maybe it's like explaining certain transformation. They'd be like, okay, like they're like if you scream and yell, the aura in your body starts like bubbling up. But like if it bubbles up too quick, you won't be able to transform properly. So you have to like do it in a moderate way, and then you have to scream not too loud but not too soft. Yeah, you have to like get that right pitch, and then finally I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? What do you mean? You can't even transform in the first place. So why you talk about some? If it bubbles up, it. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. The ground rules aren't established, so it's not like it's a series thing. It's not like they're saying that in this series, this is how it works. They're saying it like a matter of fact. Like okay, when y'all like if someone wants to use like like let's say they're explaining like taser vision, right? They were like, when you do taser vision, the atoms shoot from your eyes and then it's able to like move at a very fast speed. But if you want to counter it, then you have to like use like quickly move your arm, and then like the atoms will flip, And then I'm like, all right, what are we doing, bro? Is they enter a maze that mean pick up a bro? I'm like, dude, y'all gotta keep science out these series, bro. Like, I don't mind people explaining stuff, but like when you, again, when you're explaining something that already does not exist, keep it as simple as possible. Like, if you want to explain like ghost, if you want to explain, like, again, it is completely fine. But like again, I just brought up ghost, right? So be like, all right, so the ghost will be they'll be like, all right, so you know how ghosts show up when someone's like when they have like regrets, they have like regrets and yada yada yada, and then they just say, oh, but if you're, and they're like, so if you wanna um what's the, I'm trying to get about this, they'll be like okay, so like, let's say someone has like, they can like control potions and stuff, right? So someone, let's say they use ghosts to fight, and then someone else is able to like uh absorb regrets somehow. Like they could like absorb emotions. So like they're like, okay, we absorb regrets. Ghosts only appear because they regret something, and then um because we took away their regrets, the ghost is now gone. And I'm just like, and it's again, this is it when the series does not establish this as the precedent. So I'm just like, ghosts are not a thing. Yeah, exactly. It's like because we've all heard. I mean, a lot of ghost series do that. If regretful ghosts, right? Like if they regret, something hard enough, then like they will like linger at like a place or a person. Then the MC has to solve it, right? That's fine because again, that is a second-hand explanation. My issue is when they take it like to step two. They're like, okay, because step one is a thing, to counter it or to do the next step, this is what we have to do in step two. But I'm just like, wait, step one isn't a thing. Like, ghosts are not a thing. So like, if you're making it be like, okay, like someone has ghost powers, right? Like let's use like my hero, right? Let's say in my hero, someone can like summon ghosts to use, and then someone else was like, okay, this person is using ghosts, so tell me, it's like, okay, I saw that person regrets by doing whatever. Now those ghosts disappear. Then it's like, wait, Horikoshi, in this series, it is never established that like ghosts are tied to regrets. Like some series do that, but that's still not a thing. Like that concept does not exist. Ghosts, like that doesn't exist. Like this series about quirks and yada yada. If someone's quirk is just to use ghosts, that does not mean that like like ghosts exist only because of regrets. But then like some series would do that, then use someone to solve the ghost. Yeah, like so yeah, so and stuff like that. I'm just like, dude, stop talking. Just stop talking. Like, keep it simple. Just keep it simple because they try to act too smart. Y'all try to act too smart. It's like when you, again, I don't mind suspension of belief. I really don't. But when you start forcing me to think about your nonsense, now I can't do my suspension of belief. You want me to really act like ghosts are real? They not. So why are you trying to break it down to the science? It won't make sense. No matter how much you try to explain scientifically why ghosts exist, it does not make sense. Of course, this is a ghost series. We're out here trying to solve, in this world, ghosts show up when they get regrets. MC's going around solving regrets. Perfect. But again, I'm talking more like action series where people will use special superpowers. And those superpowers, especially when they're very unique powers that literally do not exist, then those powers get countered by things that also don't exist. And I'm just like, how do you counter, like, that logic of you countering something that don't exist don't work because the series didn't establish it as it working. And I like how y'all brought up Naruto because Naruto made it, the way Naruto did it was great. It's established in the series how it worked. So we're not using science to solve that shit. Exactly, because they want to make it act like it's natural, or to make it act like it's common sense for things to be like this. You know what I'm saying? So they'll be like, like like some series will have like, maybe like a special race. Oh no, they'll have like uh again, I'm doing mainly powers, right? So Well, I'll just run it back with the hypnosis, but again, they'll start breaking it down. Things like making the audience do the work. Yeah, we were not in that studio with you, bruh. We don't know how far you're taking this. So yeah, so it's like when series just try to do they try to just overextend. Exactly. The rules now might not be the same rules later. And they might also, or like with zombies, they'd be like, all right, you know how like zombies uh 'cause, like you read a series, right? They'd be like, all right, zombie bites only work if uh if like X happens, right? They'll be like zombie bites only work when they bite you um on like the body, but if they bite you on like the leg, it don't really count. Or like I don't know. It's like, well, what I'm trying to get at is like they would counter things that don't exist with logic that they never established. That's my main point. So yeah, so they would so for me, I have to believe in this countermeasure using rules that don't exist. So I'm just like, please just establish these rules better. Establish it better. Just be like, okay, this is how my series works. And if you want to deal with these things, you gotta do this. But y'all can't be like, okay, this cool power, um, this cool power here is about, um, yeah, it's kind of like those series that like Tim would use, like someone who have like the power of light, right? They'll be like, they'll be shooting like laser beams, light beams, or whatever. Then they bring out like the mirror. They're like, oh, you know how like lasers, uh, no, you know how like light reflects, you can reflect light with a mirror. Then like now I could reflect the gigantic beam with. I'm like, the light I'm reflecting with a mirror ain't the light you reflecting. Like you not reflecting the same light with that mirror. You know what I'm saying? They will need your entire bloodstream through your torso so it can reach your heart. Exactly, bro. So yeah, so they'll use those kind of countermeasures where they'll be like, okay, um, um, actually, I'm trying to find one more like decent example. Okay, so let me see. Um, oh, or it'll be like when they're trying to let me see. Yeah, so like let's say you're trying to bring people back to life, right? They'll be like, okay, so this person has the power to bring someone back to life, right? And then they'll be like, okay, so they'll be like, you know how when you bring someone back to life, if you don't bring them back to life within the next like 1 minute, their soul would be too scattered for it to work. So you have to like do it quickly, and you have to. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? You know when you bring someone back to life, you can't bring niggas back to life. You know what I'm saying? So where did this 1 minute soul scatter rule come from? Like, was that always a thing? Like, when do we have 1 minute to bring niggas back to life? Like, please explain that. Cause like they act like this is just common knowledge. They be like, oh yeah, so as long as we stall them for 1 minute, they can revive this person because they can revive this person because they'll pass that 1 minute rule. I'm like, where did this rule go? This rule is not a thing. Bringing people back to life is not a concept that exists in real life. So like you want me to pretend that bringing someone back to life is already an established thing, and if you do it within 1 minute, you're good. So their plan will be to stop the person or stall them for 1 minute so they can revive the other person. But I'm just like, how does that plan work? Because it was never a thing. Soul fragments, bruh. A stream of heat energy just being bounced off your off your pocket mirror, bruh. They'd be like, oh, your soul fragments. It's like, you got. I'm just like, really? So yeah, for me, like that, it makes me lose a lot of points for like, well, it's usually like a battle. Again, it's more. It's not really like a series premise thing because I'm open to like we read in fiction. I'm open to a lot of different random premises. I'm talking about specific countermeasure. I would see a nigga's powers get countered by the dumbest shit ever, bro. The dumbest thing ever. I'm like, dude, this is not a thing. Like, you want me to believe this is a thing? It's not a thing. I promise you, bro. But whatever. It's a special belief. Go crazy. They didn't want me to really turn my brain off and just read. I'm like, dude. Because the thing is, they try to break it down. There you go. Establish the concept in verse. Don't act like this is natural. Cause yeah, again, because it's popular, right? Or like with like werewolves, they'd be like, okay, so you know how werewolves, like they won't even do the moon thing. They'll be like, no, vampires is the worst. Oh my god. Ain't nobody will ever explain vampire. They think vampires are just the most common like the rules of being a vampire is the most common thing ever. Everybody got their own rules. You gotta tell me your rules, bro. Cause some vampires be chilling in the sun, but they're just nerfed. Like they won't be at max power. They'll be at like 20%. Some vampires die instantly. Some vampires, you know, they don't even need to drink blood. Blood just boosts them up a bit, but they find eating a little sandwich. They don't mind. So when a vampire series just comes out the gate, just start like saying shit, I'm like, are you going to explain what your vampire can do and what they can't do? Because vampires do not exist, my nigga. Like you can expect me to be like, okay, everything here makes sense because vampires do this, and I'm like, no, I don't know. Some vampires don't even turn into bats. Some do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. A lot of like, just basically explain more. No. When it comes to establish inverse. Yeah, I like what you said, Steve. Establish your inverse concepts first. Make it make sense, and then we go from there. Because if you think that how your story works is just common knowledge when it's about something that don't exist, whether again like vampires, werewolves, a certain superpower that does not exist, and you don't explain it, but you're already explaining how to counter this thing that does not exist, we're skipping steps. We're skipping steps. You can't tell me that the way to counter somebody that, you know, like with clones, they're like, okay, so this man has like 30 clones. Okay, so clones don't because he has 30 clones, his power is split into, you know, 1/30th. So if we attack this one, it'll be super easy. And I was like, wait. I know the 1/30th could be a thing, but is this how it works here? Because like some of them do like real clone, like, oh, the real body's here. Oh, or the real body can like switch between the bodies. And like, where are we going with this? Like you can't give me a countermeasure to a concept that you never explained. We especially start splitting hairs when we gotta choose between supernatural vampires and mutant variants, bro. Or then some of them be some vampires, even a flashlight could take them out. They'd be like, haha, all right, since he's a vampire, he can take this flashlight, and then I'm just like, a flashlight, really? That's all it takes? Like, you gotta explain this shit to a nigga, bro. You gotta explain this shit to a nigga, like. So it's not that hard too, because it's not like we need like a page to just break down everything. You can just like drop a little, okay, this vampire can do this, all right, this vampire can do that, all right, he can do this, and then just keep going. And then now when we're doing countermeasures, I know exactly which one works, which one doesn't work. But when you skip that first step of explaining your concept, and then we're already at the countermeasures, how do I know this actually counters this thing? Because it's not like you're saying water shuts down fire. Like, okay, water shuts down fire. I know that in real life, that's how it works. But these series, they'd be like, okay, this person has the power of darkness. Like, he's able to summon darkness. So the way to counter that, we grab this flashlight and then we shine it on his darkness, and then he can't do anything. I'm like, wait, he can't do anything? Like, how that work? Like, what you mean shine a flashlight at his darkness and then he can't, like, Because darkness is not a thing. You niggas can't control darkness anyway. I don't know the counter to a nigga controlling darkness, because that's not a thing. So how you already explaining the counter to that when you don't even explain how darkness works in your series? It's like we skipping steps. We skipping steps. So yeah, so that's my main thing. Bro. That's my main thing. Just explain your in-series concepts better. Explain it well, and then we can work on countermeasures. Because when it comes to these topics and concepts that don't exist, they don't exist. So it's like you can expect me to just go with what you're saying for a countermeasure when I don't know how you're doing it. Kryptonite, kryptonite logic, bro. Oh my god, bro. Enough of that. But yeah, that's about it. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Also, check out my Patreon, link in the description down below. You can get early access to more videos like this one. You can also get access to my Twitch VODs as well. Thank you again for watching, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.